Hello, everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Mostly.
Oh, God. Why do we keep doing this to ourselves, dude? I keep hoping that things are going to get better, and they just get worse. Like, I think this might be one of the most insulting ones yet. But not for, like, the same reasons.
It didn't start out like that, but boy, did it get there.
Well, because, like I was saying, like, not for the same reasons, but for different reasons. This is, like, one of the most insulting Uwe Boll films we've watched yet.
We'll get to it. We'll get to that part of why.
If it hasn't hit you yet, we continued
Dollar Tree.
Our shitrospective on
Wonder Bread.
U-Boll.
U-Ball.
Because this guy could not make...
Raisin Bran.
Like, I literally didn't enjoy any frame of this movie. Like, there was nothing that I was like, wow, that's pretty good. There was nothing that I was like, okay, I can see what they were going for here. Like, this is like Hallmark. This is like Hallmark could make a better movie.
Yes.
Like...
At least it would have...
That is saying something. At least it would have more drama and more things going on.
Content.
It would have, like, content. Because things happen. It's obviously a movie.
Sure.
The problem is...
It's a movie.
Not enough happens to keep you interested for an hour and a half. Like, my interest, like...
The things that do happen
diminished within, like, 20 minutes. And then I was just bored the whole rest of the movie.
I mean, the things that do happen are just... They don't...
Well, like,
lead.
it's... Okay, so we were describing it, and we'll get to the title. Oh, sorry. The title is The Final Storm, okay?
Yes.
And this review is going to be short. This is why we're doing a long intro. So this is like a electronic dance song that you're listening to, and it, like, builds up the beat, and then they're like, oh, hell yeah, okay, this is going to be a good drop. All right, I'm ready, and then it just nothing, just goes back into the beat, and it's just, like, just continues like that. We were also saying it was, like, if you, like, just...
No.
Bran cereal, the movie. Like, just, like, unsugared, no raisins, no nothing, just bran flakes.
Remember...
The movie.
No, it's like fucking tonic water, the movie.
Yeah.
Like...
It is. It's like... It's
wheat thins. Unsweetened wheat
thins. Think of the blandest thing you can think of, and it's that, the movie.
Like, yeah, like just...
Just unflavored,
Toast.
Just kind of just there.
One toasted Wonder Bread, no butter, no nothing.
And then at the end, it, like, just disappoints you.
It's like
completely.
You go to a fucking steakhouse or some shit, and you get a steak, and they just bring you this fucking slab of milk cow. Just no seasoning.
Just the worst cut of meat you can imagine.
Just milk cow. No seasoning.
Just like, it'll get the job done, but it just is so unappetizing.
Like, it's edible, sure. But at what cost?
You can digest this movie.
But at what cost?
At a cost of an hour and a half of your sanity.
Yeah.
Because I was almost falling asleep at certain points in this movie.
This is bullshit.
Like I said, when Hallmark can make a better movie, you know you're doing a disservice to film. So
let's get it over with.
Let's
take this shit. Let's take this dump and just flush it down the toilet.
Now, I'll admit, this might be a short... I'm not sure how long this is going to be.
This is a short one.
It's going to be a short one because, my God, there's nothing here. There's so little here. It's like the beginning is kind of like and then the end is kind of like there's where the two main things happen. And then the middle section, the middle hour and like 20-minute section is just nothing.
Nothing.
Like, it's just nothing. So here we go. Here's The Final Storm, directed by Uwe Boll.
Before we started watching this, I made the prediction, because it's a disaster movie, right? I was like...
I struggle with the word disaster movie because this is the most limp dick disaster movie I have ever seen.
Because I was just like, watch, all the disaster footage is going to be stock footage. And boy,
There's a lot of times where I feel like you made the predictions here, and then they would like come to fruition, and you would just like lose
there
your
is a
mind
certain
because
thing in this movie involving a dog, and I made a joke about it, and they literally did it, and I was just like, "Are you joking?"
Well, like you also joked about the theme of the movie, right? Like the
Yes.
overall theme of the movie, and they kind of like
That's what happened.
they kind of like hinted at that.
Yeah.
They don't actually, so we'll get to it, but like the ending doesn't really like give much to explain what is going on.
But you use your brain.
Like, but you kind of know.
You know.
But like you made that prediction early on, and it actually happened.
And they did it.
So
First prediction
here
was
is the final storm.
no
The first prediction.
disaster shit. It's just stock footage. They're not going to actually do anything. And shockingly, guess
what the movie starts with? Fucking stock footage.
Stock footage
Of hurricanes,
tornadoes, riots,
tsunamis, riots, like
anything.
any disaster you can think of that was on national television that they televised, it's probably in this first like 5-minute sequence where they're showing all these disasters happening, and while these people dub over these,
It's like newscasters.
it's new. Well, quote unquote newscasters. It's not really newscasters.
Yeah.
Just like people he
Oh, the world's falling
hired
apart. Yeah.
dub over it to say the world's going to shit.
And then it's this family in a farmhouse,
And it's raining.
and it's been raining nonstop for 4 days.
Yes. So the guy goes to another farmhand, and they talk about how their livestock is gonna, how it's gonna affect the livestock, and
Well, they're talking about how the livestock's refusing to go inside the barn,
how it's been raining forever and like all this stuff.
but they're refusing to go in.
And that's it.
And then he goes back.
He goes back. The dog gets let out, and the dog goes away.
The dog disappears. And the boy's like, "Can you look for the dog?" The guy goes outside and looks for the dog for like a total of 5 seconds.
And then comes back in.
And comes back in.
And has sex with his wife.
He fucks her back.
Okay, so I don't know what it is about Uwe
I'm just going to say
Boll
this, though. The
He-
way he starts this, because they're like in bed and he's like, "Hey, you know about Norwegian fishermen?" And I'm like, "Oh, no."
Well, they're like, to keep warm, they threw him in bed with the first woman they could find, and
Because
all this stuff.
the circulation stuff, dick,
And
penis,
so he starts
penis
getting
boner.
on top of her, and then she gets off of him, and I'm like, is that it? And then she lays on her stomach, and he gets on top of her back, and just starts like awkwardly
I know.
thrusting on top of her back.
I know they're trying to go for ooh, doggy style, but it looks like he's fucking her back. Like he's riding her.
Okay, so I will mention she doesn't lean up or anything. She just lays there on her stomach.
But he looks like he's riding her like a fucking rodeo.
Dude, I don't know. And then so he finishes in 30 seconds.
And then something breaks.
Well, no, remember she's like, "Oh, no, don't get off of me. I want you to sleep like this.
Yeah.
I want to sleep with this 180-pound man on
Crushing me.
crushing my back."
Yeah.
You know what? Because that's really fucking comfortable
Oh,
to
that's
me.
hot, babe.
That's hot. You know what? We just had sex. Just sleep on top of me.
Just sleep
Because
on top.
every woman ever, I guarantee, loves it when when a man just falls asleep on top of her.
Nuts hanging out and everything.
Yeah, or a guy, whatever your preference is.
Just
but
nuts hanging out. Still balls deep.
just
fall asleep on me.
just fall asleep on top of me, please. Crush my fucking lungs, please, for the love of God.
But unfortunately for her, that doesn't last long.
Because the fucking something breaks, so he goes downstairs and a branch has broken through the
somehow
window.
just flew through the goddamn window.
So he takes it out, puts up a piece of plywood, and there's the scene.
and stuff. But then
So now we get a stranger is outside.
someone,
So the
I think
son-
the son is looking
The
for his
son
dog.
the son is looking for his dog, and sees a stranger coming in. He's like, "There's someone coming in," and then
They open the door and this guy just collapses.
they kind of. Here's where the real fun starts. This is
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you thought this was honestly, I'm not kidding. What we just described was probably the most exciting things, other than the end. One of the end.
The
parts.
town.
So there's 3 segments that are actually kind of exciting
because things
but
happen.
not really exciting because it's just like you're desperate for something to happen and it finally happens.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, that's cool, and then like nothing happens.
Nothing.
So it's the beginning, a little tiny part in the middle,
And then
and
the
then
end.
a little tiny part at the end.
That's it.
That is literally the only exciting things that happen in this entire movie. And to be honest, I think they were only exciting because literally
We were bored out of our mind.
the entire rest of the movie you just spend bored out of your goddamn skull.
Now, here's the thing. I thought maybe this is going to be a movie where it's going to be like this family in a farmhouse, and it's like the world's going to shit, and they're just trying to survive in their like thing from all the craziness on the outside. Well, no.
I wish it was that.
No.
I wish it was anything other than what we got.
There's a movie called Pontypool that's kind of like that, where it's like the shit's going down, and it's just a guy in like a radio station. It's an independent movie. It's a good movie. It's better than this movie.
At the end,
We'll get to
I guarantee at the end we can list movies that are far better than
That
this.
do what this tries to
We've
do.
listed 3 so far.
That we talked about immediately after this ended.
Yes.
But
So
we'll get to it.
We'll get to that though. So anyway, the stranger comes in, he collapses, and they start to take care of him.
Yeah.
And so now we get just a series of segments where the guy is kind of helping around. He's like,
Well, so
at first he's setting up shingles, but the guy, so I guess the main point we should make is the husband goes to the other guy's farm.
we should also mention the rain stopped.
Yes. So the rain is now, and I wanted to mention this too because Uwe Boll is terrible at continuity.
Yes.
Because everything is completely bone dry from this point on. It's been raining for 4 days straight,
But it's fine.
and everything is like bone dry.
Yeah.
Like a day, like not even a day after, like hours after a huge rainstorm, everything is completely cleanly dry. Perfect.
But yeah, it stops raining.
So anyway, it stops raining.
He goes to the other farmhouse.
He goes to the other farmhouse. There's nowhere one to be found.
but the guy, the stranger they brought in, wakes up.
So now
They're
is the
talking
point
to him.
where we kind of thought we were getting an inkling that this was like kind of maybe something like Left Behind,
A rapture movie.
like a rapture movie, like some like religious film where
And
a bunch of people get selected and go up into heaven.
I made jokes, Will. I made jokes.
We'll get to that, okay?
Yeah.
Like I said, Alex made predictions.
I made predictions, and the movie was like, ha ha,
And the
you
movie
fuck.
was like,
guess what?
Guess what? You're fucking right. But we'll get to that. We're not going to explain how it is.
Because they wake up this guy, and he's like talking nonsense. Like, where are you from? He's like, I'm from somewhere.
I want you to get used to this because this is probably the entire rest of the movie until the last like 10 minutes of the film.
And they're like, where are you here? He's like, oh, this is my farm.
So he like starts speaking, like he just like speaks in mysteries basically.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know who he is and he doesn't know where he's from, and like he used to live here for some reason, and you know, like just a bunch of bullshit.
And eventually, like, he comes to his senses a little. He says, like, oh, my name's Silas, this and that.
So he starts
Oh,
helping.
he's like, oh, I said I'm, like, this is my land? Oh, I misspoke.
So he's like, he starts kind of helping around, right?
A little bit.
He'll chop wood. He does shingles. And he...
Well, you forget, this is the big one. This is the first thing that happens.
Well,
He starts talking with the kid
Yes.
about his dog. And he's like...
And he says, like, something like, well, like... Because the kid is shaking the bowl.
He's like, how long has your dog been missing? We'll get his bowl. We'll look for him. And I was like, I made a joke.
That the dog went to doggy heaven.
I was like, doggy got raptured.
Yes.
Doggy heaven.
All dogs go to heaven.
They go outside.
I mean, all doggos deserve to go to heaven.
They do.
Let's be honest.
But
Because, like, dogs...
this is... They go outside. The kid calls for his dog, and he's like, dog's dead.
He's like,
Dog...
If a dog won't come for his food, then you know the dog's dead.
He's like, it's okay. It's not a bad thing. He's in heaven now. The Lord wanted him, and I was just like, they did that. And then he the parents, mostly the dad, is mad because he's like, "Why did you tell my son that?"
Well, like they're all pissed off because the guy told him basically the dog is dead, but the dog hadn't returned for hours.
Yeah.
So like you just kind of got to assume that. So then they perform this weird burial.
Well, before that, the wife's out there, and he's like, "Look at the moon
Oh, and it's like a blood moon.
and stuff."
Remember the blood moon. That's the only important part of this whole
And
thing.
then after this, though, is when he starts doing like random housework.
So he like helps the son bury a bull with the dog's leash in it to like do like a burial service for the dog. And then
does a prayer.
He does like and then he does a prayer. And they start kind of like incorporating him into the housework, so he'll do like wood chopping, he like fixes the shingles. The dad doesn't really like him, but he's okay with him because he's doing stuff.
They have a brief talk though where they're talking about the dog, and he mentions to him, the dad, he's like, "All of the animals are gone. Like, when's the last time you heard crickets or you saw a bird?" And
So I don't know what happens, but like after this, the dad starts suspecting that Silas is like some sort of creep,
Yeah.
which I guess is okay because we don't know anything about Silas at this point,
yeah,
and he's being super secretive.
he's very vague.
So the dad goes to the other farm now, and he's gonna go get the car.
Yes.
But before he gets the car, no, sorry, he doesn't get the gun yet. Because he goes and gets the car for some reason.
Yeah.
So he gets the car because they're going to, I guess he has a plan of driving into town to
But
get
while
supplies.
he's doing that, fucking
The guy starts chopping wood and
then
talking to the wife.
the wife brings him a sandwich, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, it feels good to split wood."
Yeah, and like he's like, oh, I'm getting my strength back and everything. I used to be a farmhand, and I'm like, this dude's
I
dressed,
grew up on a farm
This dude's dressed in a full button-down shirt,
with like a vest
vest, suspenders, a suit jacket, and a bow tie. Now,
and a hat.
I've never seen farmers wear anything like that. They can. I'm not
Sure.
I'm not judging them.
Sure.
But why would you wear fancy clothes to work on a fucking field?
Well, it's fine, Will, because this is the only thing he wears through the whole movie.
Yes.
It's fine.
He's always dressed in like when it's like outside scenes, he's in like a long trench coat and a scarf. He's always very like nicely dressed, which is very against his character
and against everything that's happening.
You can really tell that the people making this movie are very incompetent at what they do because they don't make him look like he's supposed to be.
You're saying Uwe Boll is incompetent?
I know, shocking. I've never stated that before, but here we are.
Well, it's fine. Daddy-O shows up and is like, "Let's go to town."
He's like, we're gonna go in town.
Get supplies.
Silas is gonna get in the back, and we'll get in the truck, in the
He
cab.
forces Silas to get in the back, and they stop at a gas station.
There's no gas.
No gas. Everything's empty.
Because I should mention, the dad mentions that their like gas situation isn't great.
At some point before this, I made a joke that it's like we both made a joke. It's a Rapture movie
Yeah.
because, and again, they're driving around town. Everyone's missing.
They can't find anyone, so they go into a grocery store and kind of like the dad.
No, first they stop, like look around town. No one's there. They
Oh,
go to a police station.
Yes.
Oh, Silas goes missing for a brief
Silas just
second.
disappears.
But the dad goes into a police station. He sees like a half-eaten cookie and like a cup of coffee. Rapture movie.
Yeah.
And then they go to a grocery store, and he's like, "Grab what you can," and they go down
And of course,
the single aisle of food.
The wife and the son grab food, and the dad grabs beer.
The most important object ever.
Now, listen.
Will,
On this podcast, we are fans, very much fans of beer, because that is what gets us through these movies.
yes,
Although I will admit tonight, I am a little bit more buzzed than usual because
you drank something else.
I drank two very tall Dark and Stormies. Because guess what? I'm trying to stay on theme.
You thought the movie was gonna be stormy? That's adorable.
It's
Will.
called The Final Storm. What else would you expect?
At this point, there hasn't
And
been a
all
storm
the-
in like 40 fucking minutes.
And guess what? There's no other fucking storm.
Nothing.
Spoiler alert, there's no storm.
The only storm was in Silas's loins.
Yes.
Later, okay? That's
But
it.
I had Dark and Stormies because I saw the poster when I was editing that bullshit on our Instagram, and I was like,
It's in the title, Will.
it's called The Final Storm, so I had Dark and Stormies. Okay?
But no, it's a lie.
But the Dark and Stormies were good because that was the only good thing I had
That's it.
tonight. It was fucking rum, ginger ale, and lime, and I loved it. It was good. They were both really good.
I'm glad you had a good time with our film tonight, Will.
I had a good time drinking. I didn't have a good time with this film.
No, you didn't love this movie?
We'll get to that.
Hey, do you love Mad Max?
I do love Mad Max.
Because
especially Fury Road.
Guess who shows up?
A bunch of marauders.
A bunch of marauders with bad haircuts and tattered clothes.
Yes.
I've never seen this before in anything ever, but I'm like, oh, this gonna be exciting.
Now, at this point, we questioned this after the movie, but it should have been this point when we questioned why the family in this film did not get chosen to be raptured.
Because they didn't do the thing that they did at the ending of the movie yet.
Not yet. But okay, but here's the thing. Everyone else in the town, except for like maybe 7 dudes.
7
in
assholes.
in the city.
Yeah.
Because we know they're bad because they attack the family. But like, these 7 dudes and this one random ass family that has presumably done nothing wrong. We're given no information. We're just thrown with them, but they don't seem like bad people.
No.
So why weren't they raptured?
Because movie.
Because we needed a movie. We couldn't just have Silas going around and kicking ass.
Because we needed a lame ass fucking movie. And of course these idiots show up and they're like, "Oh, you're taking food? Well, you got to pay us."
Looks like you have gas too.
You got to pay us for all that.
Now
and they immediately start fighting.
Now, I just thought of this. I struggle with this because why would they want monetary value when everyone is gone?
I think they're implying you're going to pay us with food.
Okay.
And then one of them,
why
of course,
didn't they
is
raid
like
the grocery store?
One of them, of course, is like, "Oh, you got a nice looking woman there," and then the dad starts fighting them. The woman drives off, and then some fucking idiot is in the middle of the road, just like waving his hands.
And he gets run over
with a blank expression on his face, and then the truck just kind of bops him.
It just knocks him down, and
he's
then
dead. Apparently,
the dad goes into a random alleyway, starts fighting all the people, and then Silas shows up and saves his ass
with a crowbar. And
then the wife pulls up in the truck, and they both get in the truck and drive back to the farm.
And they're just like, "That was crazy." Yeah. End scene. I'm literally
no like conversation.
You're laughing, but that's what happened. She's like, "That was crazy." And I was like, "Yeah." Well,
like no like dad thanking Silas, no like Silas being finally trusted to be later distrusted.
No.
Like nothing. Like the dad is still fully against Silas.
Because they get back and they're having dinner and they're talking, and Silas just starts talking about how it's the end of the world.
Well, and the dad's getting like drunk.
He's not as drunk as he gets later.
No,
but yes,
but he is he's shown like getting like he just fucking drinks a lot.
Yeah, and he's just talking, and they're like talking. It's the end of the world.
Now this is where
God took away like everybody, and all we can do is just like be good, and eventually we'll get taken away. We'll get like snuffed out like a star.
Like God just snuffs out people like stars.
He'll just take his finger and snuff you out of the world.
Foreshadowing.
Blow me.
So
fucking suck it.
So this is where my notes end. So you might have to carry the rest of this episode.
Because our man.
Let me just say something real quick. Sorry. So anyway, this is where my notes end. But I want to just mention what my last note is because it defines the rest of the movie. My last note in my entire like notes app is literally drama ensues.
The movie.
This is lame drama, the movie.
Yeah.
So
it's fine, I have notes, because guess what? It's the next day. Our fucking dude gets a goddamn giant Bible, reads a thing about Blood Moon, and that's it.
And he I guess he kind of starts thinking maybe it is the end of the world, but then doesn't really because he questions Silas about it later. But anyway, so
he goes to
he
the
doesn't trust Silas because he drives to the other farm
gets their gun
and he gets their gun, which I guess he couldn't get in the first
before,
place.
and he
And
like wraps it up.
He wastes precious gas getting this gun, and then wraps it up and puts it on top of like a shelf, where no one can see it.
And it's like later that night. Now he's drunk.
He's drunk and he's arguing with the wife, and he like starts to try and like kind of like put the moves on her, but she's like not having.
He's also arguing with Silas. He like offers Silas a drink, and he's like, "I don't drink."
And
he just like starts telling him shit like,
he's like, "Oh, I guess it's the end of the world then."
It's the end of the world. You're really calm. Blah blah blah. And then they fucking they're in bed. He's in bed with the wife, and he's just like putting the moves on her, and she's just not having it.
Well, because she keeps saying like Silas is a guest. Like Silas is a guest. We need to respect him. Blah blah blah.
Don't treat
he's
our
been
guests
helping.
like that.
He's been helping out with the house. Blah blah blah. And the husband's like, fine, whatever. And then the wife gets on top of him,
and they fuck.
And they fuck
on their squeaky ass bed
while Silas is listening and reading the Bible, and then listening to them fuck. And then he cuts his hand.
And then eventually, the husband walks downstairs and is like talking to him, and they start talking about the Bible, like their favorite verses and bits of it. And then, why did he cut his hand?
They start talking about like Old Testament.
Why the fuck did he cut his hand?
Revelations, all this stuff, and
was his boner so hard? Listening to them fuck
because he wanted the wife.
That he had to cut his hand.
So then the dude just keeps not trusting Silas.
Here's what happens.
So Silas cuts down a branch of a tree.
That night. No.
Oh, you're right. The husband drives away.
He cut down that tree way before.
So in one scene, he cuts down a tree branch, and the husband gets mad at him.
He's like, "Why the fuck are you cutting down shit on my property?"
And he's like, "Oh, I'm just making more firewood."
But it's that night. Presumably, everyone goes to sleep. The husband gets in his truck, drives to the city.
Precious gas. I have to keep mentioning.
Precious.
They have like no gas.
Well, it's fine because it gives us drama. Us dick hanging out. He drives to town with his gun. Well, no, he doesn't drive with his gun. He
doesn't take the gun.
A stick.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the police station to look up Silas.
So he like finds Silas, and he finds out
files on
that like Silas hung his dad and then cut a like realtor that was like a foreclosing agent.
He cut his throat.
And
he was in jail.
And he was in jail for like 20 years.
And he finds that out. He takes the files with him.
And then the marauders attack him.
They stab him in the arm.
Because lo and behold, if you take the only operating car in the entire town with your headlights shining, that's not going to draw attention.
No, not at all.
So he gets attacked, and then he like drives down the road, and it's like almost like morning.
It's out of gas.
And the car breaks down.
What's out of gas?
Yeah.
And he slowly walks back to his farmhouse.
It takes him enough time.
He leaves everything in the car.
It takes him enough time that the wife can take a bath, and then Silas gets in the same bath, not with her.
Not with her, but he'd like to.
She's like getting water warm for him.
And then he's in the tub, just dick fucking spread.
He's like spread eagle.
Fully dick hanging out.
And the woman's like, "Shall I leave the hot water out here?" And he's like, "No, can you bring it in, pour it in the bath for me?"
And then she brings it in, pours it in the bath,
and he's like he comes up with some like lame excuse, like I didn't want to drip water everywhere.
And he's like,
and she's totally okay with that.
And he's like, "By the way, you're beautiful. You deserve the world."
He's like, "Can you like give me like, can you sit here and give me company? I want to apologize for
my manners."
And like, while he's fully fucking naked, he's talking about manners.
Dick out.
While he's fucking naked as fuck in a bathtub and like just talking to her like it's nothing.
And eventually the husband,
she's like okay with it,
shows up at his house all bloody and shit, walks upstairs, sees them like that, and then like walks back downstairs.
And then she's like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, Get dressed. And like he
grabs his gun, tells her to get dressed, tells the son.
Well, this is also the point that I realized the wife was just wearing panties and like a nightgown,
which they never
they never explained that she was just wearing panties and a nightgown.
They never showed that at all.
But she just put pants on.
So whatever.
And they all go outside, and he tells Silas to come outside, and he's fully dressed.
And
like,
he's pointing a gun at him.
he's like, okay, you need to get off my property. I know what you did.
If
need to get
you
off
don't leave, like, I'm gonna like shoot you. And he leaves.
And Silas is like, okay. And
He goes inside and he tells the wife, like, hey, he murdered his dad and this realtor, and he's been in prison for 20 years. He's been in prison for the last 20 years.
At this point, you may be wondering,
What does it have to do with the fucking rapture?
What the fuck happened with the whole plot with everyone disappearing? You know what has to do with that? Not a goddamn thing.
Not a goddamn thing.
Not a goddamn fucking thing.
Because here's what happens. It's later that night. They're about to go to bed, and then there's a fire.
There's a fire, and he's like, it's Silas. And so they go outside.
Well, the husband goes outside with his gun, gets attacked by Silas, and Silas hangs him. He starts hanging him like he did his daddy-o.
And then Silas goes in and like tries to put the moves on the wife.
He's talking to the wife. He's like, "Oh, your husband attacked me, but everything's fine.
I'm
gonna take care of you.
I'm gonna take care of you and your son.
And your son. It's my land, and I'm back.
And the son,
baby, I'm back.
And the son chops down the dad because like he saves the dad, and the dad like.
And then Silas knows that he chopped him down, so he runs back out there.
And then like the dad stabs him with a pitchfork and like shoves him into the flaming car, and Silas is on fire and tries to get up and attack the husband, and he just
kicks him into the hay.
Kicks him back into the burning hay.
And then that's it.
And then he's dead.
And then they're all like happy. The sun is like staring at the sky, and he's just like, look.
It's like, look at the stars. And they start like doing this weird formation thing, and then like they go all together, and the black hole comes down and like envelops the screen. Roll credits.
Literally. Literally.
That I am not making this up. That is how the movie ends.
Yeah, they kill him, look at the sky, end.
So does that mean they were raptured after murdering a guy?
Yes.
They murdered a person.
Unless they're hallucinating. But again, none of this is like... Nothing is explained.
Now I want to, like... Okay, so take out the whole subplot with the people disappearing. How is this a different movie?
It's not. It's the same movie.
You could make the same movie and not have the rapture plot. What is the point?
Like, yeah, we've all seen like movies like this.
Yeah.
Where like some stranger creep is like slowly like trying to like initiate himself into like a household.
Like we mentioned Rage with Mark Wahlberg.
No, Fear.
No, Fear.
Fear.
Yeah.
There's
Fear.
Oh my god, what the fuck was the other one?
The one with Robert De Niro.
Cape Fear.
Cape Fear.
There's Cape Fear. There's Unlawful Entry with Kurt Russell and Ray Liotta.
It's been done so many times, but so much better.
There's Pacific Heights with fucking Michael Keaton. Like,
yeah.
Like, even like fucking...
Dude, this is like they've even done it in recent years, like Obsession and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, like
just everything. Like one with like Dennis Quaid for some reason. Like,
yeah, like there's so many movies like this.
There's so many movies where a guy like gets all creepy, but like for some reason they thought it'd be different and edgy to add in a weird
rapture shit.
What's weird is it's like a plot point, but it becomes a subplot.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen a movie do that.
It's in the title.
I've never seen a movie do that, where it, like, takes its main plot and makes it a subplot, and then makes a main plot out of a subplot.
Yeah.
That's literally what they did.
Yeah.
Because they take a subplot, which is the guy slowly invading the home and trying to get with the wife, and made that the main plot. And then they took the main plot, which was the rapture, and made that a subplot.
You know what this is?
Who does that?
You know what this is, Will? There's a word for this. It's a scam.
That's exactly what it is.
You know what it is? You put the fucking disaster shit on the poster.
And
you make the title, the trailer, the advertising.
It's all about disaster.
So that some fucking idiot can walk into his local Dollar Tree and see this movie.
And spend 25 cents on it.
Or in the fucking bargain bin at Walmart or your local Kroger grocery store. You'll see this fucking pile of nothing.
Probably at the bottom of the bargain bin.
And they're like, Final Storm. Oh, it's got Luke Perry in it, you know. Like, it looks interesting. Out. And then they put this, and then they plug this into their fucking DVD. They get their popcorn. They plant their fucking fat ass in their couch. And then they start watching it, and they see this shit.
Well, you know what's sad? You can literally turn on Hallmark and watch a better movie.
Well, all those movies we named off, the Stranger movies. Here's the thing. All of those movies are better than this.
You know why they're better than this? Because they know their main plot.
Because
they know what movie they're trying to make, and they do it well.
But not only that, those movies, like, they can actually be edgy.
Well, and the actor playing the home invader is, like, kind of creepy the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Silas in this is, like, kind of like, you're kind of on his side almost, and you're almost
until the last, like, 20 minutes.
because he just shifts for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, once the father calls him, like, he's done literally nothing, like, super out of the norm, right?
Yeah.
Like, up until this point, up until the father calls him out on his bullshit, he has literally done nothing, like, I would say, creepy, right?
Yeah.
Like, in all these other movies, you have an air of this person is not to be trusted.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, a certain, like, thing where, like, characters will trust this person, but you know there's something sinister behind them.
Yeah.
Right? There's something inherently wrong with them.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're convinced that this person should not be trusted in these movies. But they make that clear. In this instance, you're not sure if Silas is the bad guy or the husband.
Yeah, no, it's
You
like...
have no idea. You're just like, okay.
And all those other movies, like, they're edgy, at least. This is just, like, vanilla fucking bullshit.
Well, and the payoff is way better in those movies.
Oh, God.
Because, like, you build up this whole big thing, right, where this guy is not to be trusted, and then he proves that he is fucking evil as fuck, and, like, does some, like, kills a dog, or, like, does, like, this, like, really horrific shit, tries to rape the wife, like...
But you get that final
confrontation where they have to overcome the enemy, right? Where they have to fight off this evil threat.
Just watch Cape Fear.
Just go watch Cape Fear. It's fucking awesome.
It's fucking awesome.
It's a great movie.
The ending is fucking lit.
It's phenomenal.
Because, you know why?
And Robert De Niro is scary as fuck.
Because Martin Scorsese knew what he was fucking doing, unlike this fucking idiot.
You know why? Because Martin Scorsese
Because Cape Fear wasn't about a goddamn 4-day rainstorm that stops 5 minutes into the movie.
I don't get the rapture point, though. Like, what is the point?
Nothing.
Like, why add that? Except for what you said. It's like clickbait.
It's clickbait, the fucking movie!
It's a scam. Because they're trying to market this movie as a disaster movie.
Yeah.
And it's just a fucking, like, home invasion movie.
It's whack.
It's stupid.
Here's what
this movie is fucking boring as fuck.
Here's what this movie is. We talked about this. I think this bears mentioning. This is like, you know, you're ready. You're home alone. You got incognito mode open.
You know what?
You're gonna go watch
none of your roommates are home. No one's home, right?
So
you can like blast the volume.
You can blast the volume of Pornhub.
You can watch whatever the fuck you want,
and you're ready.
You're like,
but you're in like, but you're feeling a little picky tonight, right?
You're just like, you know what? I'm gonna take my time.
So every video, it doesn't quite do it.
I'm gonna take my time selecting a video tonight.
So you go through all the thumbnails. Nothing's quite doing it. Then you find one, and it's like, oh, after an hour and a half, you finally find one. You're like, this is it.
You know what? This is the one. So you start going to town on yourself. You have like your candle lit, you know, everything like that. You have your scented candles all over the room. You're like, I'm gonna treat myself tonight. Tonight is the night that I just love myself.
Your fucking baby wipes.
I love myself. You have your oils, your essential oils, your candles, your fucking. You have all your cleanups. You busted out the baby wipes tonight.
The volume's on max.
To clean everything up. Like, you're ready. Okay?
And you start going.
You just start going. You're watching this video. It is great. It is phenomenal.
And then suddenly, right when you're about to come, it zooms in on the dude's nuts.
Right when the climax happens, it gets that weird angle where the dude is like railing the girl or guy, whatever you're watching.
Yeah.
But like it's like an upshot where you get the nuts just like pendulum swinging.
Just full scrotum.
Just
scrowed. Just
chode for days. And like,
but you're like, but when it does
like
that,
hairy.
It's just Harry Chode.
Chode.
But you're so close that you don't stop.
And it's the most disappointing climax in your entire life.
So you come and it's just like you already feel ashamed.
And you didn't have
And it doesn't
fun.
even feel good.
You didn't have fun doing it.
What you did, you wasted an hour and a half of your life for nothing. You know what that is? That's what we fucking did with this bullshit movie.
It's a waste of time. This movie...
You know what's funny? Like, halfway through, I'm like, this is shit, but it's not that annoying. It's probably up there with Far Cry as one of his better ones. But you know what? After that fucking ending, fuck that shit. This is whack.
At least Far Cry had an ending.
Far Cry had an ending. Like,
all his other movies had an ending.
it's bullshit. This is a scam. This is a
like,
fucking scam.
It's like at the end of the movie, they just remembered that there was this big rapture that happened.
This is like, like everyone hates when movies do like the whole like, oh, it was all a dream.
That's like the equivalent of this.
This is like that, but worse.
Yeah.
Like Uwe Boll was like, what if instead of it's all a dream, it's all a rapture?
It's like God slapped you in the face.
With his scrotum.
Yeah.
The final shot of this movie is the hairy scrotum.
It's the hairy scrotum.
It's the hairy scrotum.
The end shot is a hairy scrotum, which is funny because it's even brown. It's like a brown galaxy.
Yeah.
It's like Uwe Boll's hairy scrotum.
That's the end of the movie.
Just teabagging the screen.
Scrotum. Credits.
Just Uwe Boll teabags the screen. Credits.
And fuck this movie.
This movie.
Fuck this fucking bullshit ass movie.
This movie is a waste of time. I don't care how much alcohol you drink. You're not going to enjoy this movie.
Because here's the thing, like, it's not budget. You can make, like, a great movie with low money.
Here's the thing, Alex. We didn't even laugh at how bad this one was.
I laughed at some parts of it, but it's just like, it's just...
It's such a meaningless pile of garbage.
Well, Raisin Bran.
Not even Raisin Bran. You can't even add the raisins,
No,
okay?
you know...
Because raisins add too much zest.
Go to the fucking store.
Raisins add too much zest. It is just
Bran
flakes.
Go to the store, buy some granola. Not flavored. No blueberry, no banana,
no
just
sugar,
granola.
Just granola.
No milk. Just water.
Now, you know
Put
what
your fucking granola in water and just shovel it down your throat.
You know what you do, actually? No, I got it.
That's the movie.
I got it. Grape nuts. So you go and buy some grape nuts, right? Because people put sugar, people put a lot of shit on grape nuts, right?
Yeah.
And they never seem to end either. So what you do is you can get some grape nuts, and you get like the wateriest skim milk you can find.
Or just water.
Oh yeah.
Just water.
You just pour
Skim milk has too much flavor for this movie. You know that?
So you pour a bunch of water into grape nuts.
Yeah.
And you just eat them for hours because they'll never end because they multiply. I swear to God, they multiply.
Yeah.
And like you'll be unsatisfied because it's unsweetened grape nuts, and you're just having a bad time.
Yeah.
For an hour and a half. Just eat grape nuts for an hour and a half in water, and you've done the equivalent of watching this movie.
This is like fucking... This is warm tonic water.
I'm honestly more, like, kind of more offended at this movie than I am at the other movies.
Is it that because we had to have Uwe Boll attempting to preach?
I've never seen a movie where they take a main overarching plot and just forget about it for like an hour and 20 minutes.
Because here's the thing, like a lot of like everyone's watched disaster movies. They always have like drama in them, right?
Well,
it's
that's the point.
But it's like
it's people surviving
against
in a
the odds.
disaster. Yeah.
But I have never seen a disaster movie where like they just forget.
It's like if Left Behind, you were watching Left Behind and they just suddenly forgot that it was all about, like, people getting, like, in the rapture, just getting taken up to heaven.
Like, can you imagine, like, if you watched, like, The Towering Inferno, and then 10 minutes in, it was just not on fire anymore? Imagine if you're watching fucking, I don't know, like, imagine you're watching, like, Independence Day.
Or St. Helen.
Oh, no, Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak. And the volcano never erupted.
No, it erupts in the first 5 minutes, and then the rest of the movie is just, like, people in a house.
Yeah. Not affected by the volcano, by the way.
Yeah.
Just people in a house that's not even near.
And then at the very end of the
volcano.
movie, you hear a mountain rumbling, and
That's the equivalent.
that's what we watched. That's what we had to sit through. Like, imagine fucking Independence Day if the aliens just blew up a city in the beginning and then zoomed out, and then at the very end, a UFO shows up at the end.
That's why I'm kind of more offended to this one, because it just doesn't have anything going for it.
Nothing.
It's blah. It's warm tonic water.
It is drink warm tonic water.
It's like boiling vodka.
Yeah.
You
Just
just pour vodka in a saucepan and boil it, and then drink it, and see if you have a good time.
like, yeah, like,
Boil all the alcohol out of it, and just fucking drink it.
yeah, it's like have, like, for breakfast, just have fucking soggy eggs and white toast with nothing. That's the movie.
Yep.
And then at the very end, when you're done with your breakfast, Uwe Boll shows up and shoves a scrotum in your face.
Just fucking teabags you.
Does it? Fuck this movie.
This movie sucks.
1 out of 10. Blow me.
Dude,
Blow me.
the lowest score we can give it. This movie fucking blows.
Yeah, no, this is shit.
It fucking sucks. I'm done talking about it. We've wasted so much time watching it, reviewing it. It's just a meaningless fucking piece of garbage.
We've given it way more time than it deserves.
I don't even know why it got released.
Scam.
Yes.
It's a
To
scam.
try and milk money out of people.
It is a scam movie.
I hope it didn't get any money, but I guarantee it got some.
Someone bought it
I don't know why.
because they looked at the cover.
I don't know if you want to torture yourself, but it is on Amazon Prime. I wouldn't watch this piece of shit again.
Well, hey, well, apparently the people who put it on there didn't bother watching it either because the
review
plot description,
is literally just,
the title,
yeah.
so it's The Final Storm. What is it about?
Even the plot description on IMDb has no idea what the fucking movie is about.
Dude, no one knows.
It just like kind of like describes some plot points.
Storm stuff.
Storm, people disappear, stuff happens.
What was
Drama ensues.
I was gonna say, drama ensues.
Because stuff does happen. It's a movie, but
Yeah.
barely.
You know,
Just
not enough.
no.
Not enough.
There wasn't enough to keep anyone interested. I dare someone to be entertained by this movie.
Have fun.
Yeah, so that was the final storm. Fuck this. I'm
Fuck
done.
this. I'm done.
Be on the lookout for more episodes.
Better episodes.
Better episodes.
Better movies.
We're going back into 78. Also, be on the lookout. We're going to do a live stream soon. Hopefully before the end of February. If not,
Yes.
we'll have to do one in March. But we are planning end of February. So stay tuned for that. For They Mostly Come Out at Night, this has been Will.
This has been Alex.
We'll talk to you later. I'm fucking going to watch a better movie.
Bye.
Bye.
We've been raptured.
Milk toast.
Milk toast.